Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, federal government takes determination to shield MSMEs in Nigeria from the impact of COVID-19 to another level through its 75 billion naira MSME Survival Fund as it engages players in the transport sector through the Bank of Industry and other stakeholders. No fewer than 4,500 private businesses in the transport sector from each state are targeted to benefit from the initiative. The engagement event, which took place simultaneously in 4 locations, Abuja, Lagos, Katsina, and Ebonyi states, gave transport operators a first-hand opportunity to interact with government and bear their minds in a no-holds-barred fashion. On this edition, we would be bringing you the report of the engagement in Abuja. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program.
Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
Staying true to its vow to keep micro, small and medium enterprises in the country afloat, the federal government has sustained programs under its Economic Sustainability Plan through financial inclusion and other policies that ensure ease of doing business, especially for businesses at the bottom of the pyramid. Earlier in October, the federal government earmarked the sum of 75 billion naira to execute an initiative known as the MSME Survival Fund and Guaranteed Offtake Stimulus Scheme, targeting at least 333,000 micro-entrepreneurs across the country in the first phase.
The transport track of the Survival Fund.
This is a new survival fund targeted specifically at artisans and transport business operators. This intervention is so timed as to soften the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the socio-economic difficulties left in its wake on small business owners across the country. The artisan intervention and payroll support tracks of the intervention are already underway in partnership with the Bank of Industry and other relevant stakeholders.
How much have you disbursed so far in this front?
This is the formal launch of the transport track of the Survival Fund and Guaranteed Offtake Scheme happening in Abuja, the nation's capital. It's a new day for transporters across the country. To ensure that different stakeholders are duly represented, the government has invited officials of the different business and cooperative groups in the sector to this launch. These include representatives of drivers and riders of buses, taxis, tricycles and motorcycles, leaders of transport businesses, associations and trade unions, as well as their employers. Even the ride-share or electronic car hailing service operators are not left behind. The rendition of the national anthem signals the commencement of the meeting, after which Special Advisor to the President on MSMEs, Office of the Vice President, Mr. Tola Johnson, who also doubles as the project's coordinator, explains the purpose of the day's launch.
We're here to launch the transport track. And whilst in the artisan track, if you recall, we have 333,000 artisan and transporters for the entire country, which was supposed to come to about 9,000 or thereabouts in each state. So it means that we have taken out, if you divide 9,000 into 2, we have taken out one part. We've taken out about 4 or 5. So now we're launching the other part of it, which is the transport one. And we want it to be all inclusive. That's why we've called everybody. You can hear, at least you heard what the MC said. You have people from Bolt, Uber, Keke, there'll be cart pushers, all sorts and forms of modes of transportations will be supported. But please, just like she always warns, this thing is free. No enumerator will collect any money from you. The president said we should pay this money directly to your account. That's what we've been doing. That's what we'll continue to do. So if you have issues with people asking you for money, get back to us. Our numbers are very clear. They are all over the place. So you can call anyone you want to call. I just wanted to use this opportunity to encourage us all to partake in this. You can see and you know that we have said that we're going to pay salaries. We have paid. As we speak, we have paid almost 200,000 salaries for staff. We said that we're going to pay artisans. We have paid. Now we are saying that we're going to pay transporters. We are going to pay. We told you that we're going to register businesses. We are doing that. For every track that President approved on the 1st of July 2020, we are implementing as it was approved, not changing anything. We are giving to the people as he said to give to the people. We are ensuring that you are in charge, you are involved in every way possible. So ladies and gentlemen, please take good advantage of this. And once you get the money, when you get the money, please let people know that we have paid you. The good thing about the artisan scheme is that as they were getting it, they were screaming. You see, people felt like Nigerians would get it. They call it chop claim out. No, people were not chopping and claiming out. As they were getting it, they were coming out with testimonials. Yes, some of you have complained that the numbers are not enough. We're over 200 million in this country. So that message, the minister will communicate to Mr. President that your people are happy. They are getting this thing. But Mr. President, they want more.
Engaging on a note of gratitude, the transporters deliver goodwill messages to the federal government for the thoughtful initiative.
Mr. Musa Ibrahim.
Mr. Musa Ibrahim is the representative of the Keke Napep and Okada Riders Association. He and his colleagues are overwhelmed that the federal government would remember and come to the aid of micro-level transporters, even in these difficult times. They, however, urge their members to embrace and maximize the gesture.
Let me start by thanking Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity to be here. And we also want to use this opportunity to appreciate the Buhari-led administration for remembering an ordinary man like Keke Okada to be remembered for this grant. We really appreciate the government, and I would like to use this opportunity to call all our members to come out and partake in this scheme.
I think we have to show an appreciation on the federal government and FCTA that organizes a program. So we, as a KKC ordinary, we are not ordinary. We are trade union, fully recognized by the federal government. So if government still recognizes us in this program, yes, they did well. They know about us. So we want to thank God and thank Mr. President and the Minister of FCT and the organizers of these programs. Thank you very much once again.
We are very, very grateful for this kind of honor given to us from the federal government for recognizing us that this program is really meant for the masses of this country. And we are agreed to support them and do everything possible to make the program succeed. Thank you very much.
It's the first time ever that the federal government would directly target transporters for grants of this magnitude. The special advisor to the president on MSMEs, Mr. Tola Johnson, says despite the huge success of the artisan stream of the Survival Fund, the exercise has also been a learning curve. He attributes the success to right partnerships, especially with the media.
2 months have gone, and I would say to you that we've learned a lot. We've learned that we have done some things very well, and we've learned that some things can be done better. So that's why we have come to you. Remember that day, Her Excellency told you that Her Excellency, the Minister of State, said to you that whenever we wanted to launch the transport, she will call the media and she will inform you, just the same way she had informed you about the transport scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to, so far so good, say that the Survival Fund has signed into law, well, as signed by the President on the 1st of July 2020, and has been implemented by the Steering Committee and the PDO. It's been hugely successful. It's been extremely successful, and that's because we have chosen the right partnership. And when I mean we have chosen the right partnership, I mean Her Excellency made sure that we have or had at the initial beginning of this thing the right partnership with the media. The media has made our work very, very easy. Please, ladies and gentlemen, kindly put a hand of applause for the media. Gentlemen and gentlewomen of the media have made our work easy. We have carried them along from point A to point B. Whenever they've had issues, they've come to us either through the minister or come directly to the PDO to request clarity when there seem to be elements of ambiguity. So we want to thank you on behalf of the chairperson of the steering committee. I want to thank the media once again for your partnership.
Representing the Honorable Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investments, Mrs. Miriam Katagum, who also doubles as the chairperson of the steering committee of the Survival Fund, Mr. Adewale Bakari unveils the transport stream, emphasizing the specific impact areas of the Survival Fund.
This track, which is being launched today, will give a one-off grant of 30,000 naira each to qualify individuals operating in the transport sector. These include ride-share drivers such as Uber, Bolt, taxi drivers, bus drivers, keke napep drivers, Okada riders, and cart pushers. Ladies and gentlemen, the MSME Survival Fund and Guarantee Update schemes, comprising of 5 different tracks, are grants approved under the Economic Sustainability Plan to support and sustain the livelihood of vulnerable MSMEs and self-employed individuals, mostly affected by the shock of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me reiterate that the purpose of the Survival Fund scheme include augment the payroll obligations of businesses in the health, production, education, hospitality, private businesses, and food production sectors. Provide 50,000 naira grants to an additional eligible 100,000 MSMEs. Register 250,000 new businesses with the Corporate Affairs Commission at no cost to the MSMEs. Support self-employed individuals like mechanics, taxi drivers, hairdressers, keke napep riders, Okada riders, plumbers, electricians, etc., with a one-off payment of 30,000 to each. Stimulate direct local production in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT by enabling MSMEs in the production sector with funds to stimulate post-COVID lockdown offtake products.
The Honorable Minister further gives an update on the progress made so far in other subsections of the scheme, emphasizing that the initiative is a grant and warns beneficiaries against attempts to influence the process.
We commence disbursement to the approved beneficiaries under the payroll support on 17th November 2020. The distribution of beneficiaries across the country is detailed below. Number of benefiting MSMEs, 27,085. Number of individual beneficiaries, 165,314. 30,000 naira each paid to 146,266 employees. 50,000 naira each paid to 19,048 employees. Out of these, 2.6 of the beneficiaries are people with special needs, while 43% are female employees. Ladies and gentlemen, let me emphasize that government approved all the schemes under the MSME Survival Fund and Guarantee Uptake schemes as grants And as such, all applicants should not, I repeat, should not pay money to influence anything, because no one can influence anything for you.
An estimated 4,505 beneficiaries are targeted in every state to benefit from the Survival Fund. Here's what's required of them.
For you to be eligible to participate under this track, you have to be a Nigerian. You need to have a verifiable BVN. You have to be a transporter in the transport sector. That is an operator in the transport sector. You have to belong to a transport association. And of course, you will have to be enumerated by you applying online. Applicants are encouraged to apply through their registered associations to be enumerated. Individuals who are members of associations but choose not to apply through their association can be enumerated. But these independent applicants will need to prove of membership to be enumerated, that is, membership of an association.
The speeches soon gave way for interaction between the organizers, beneficiaries, and members of the press. Some of the questions brought to the fore include: whereabouts are the beneficiaries of the artisan and payroll scheme, inclusion of transporters in special training, total sum disbursed so far under the scheme. The representative of the Minister of State and the project coordinator respond. Mr. Bakari, expressing confidence about the integrity, spread and impact of the funds disbursed so far, encourages willing journalists to investigate the operations of the scheme and come up with their independent assessment.
We could have easily gathered people here and bring them on the podium and say, these are the people that benefited. And they may be telling you stories. We will enjoin you and some of your colleagues to do what is called in your profession as investigative journalism. Why don't you find out from people whether they have actually benefited from some of these schemes, and you will report them accordingly.
On his part, Mr. Tola Johnson says no training is required in the scheme.
I'm aware that there are some MSME-related schemes that is in partnership with NISA and the CBN that you will be required to go for some trainings. And this is in partnership with SMEDAN. I'm aware of such programs. So those are programs that predate the Survival Fund. So it's not the same thing. But I'm aware of some of the programs you're talking about, where some MSMEs are giving loans. So they are required to go for in some cases maybe 3 months training to ensure that they know how they can use that fund. They build their capacity before they give them the money. So I'm aware of those programs. To state very clearly, for the MSMEs of our fund, we are not training anybody. We believe that you are the owners of your businesses. You've been running them for the past many years. All we're doing is try to support. We have done less than 60,000 because we're doing it in tranches. So that's why I said that for the transport, we're not going to do it in streams. We'll just do it bullet payments. For the payroll, we are going to 500,000. We've done 165,000 as we speak. So we're going to 500,000. We've done 165,000. And the reason why we have not done up to the 500,000 is that a lot of people filled in wrong information. We need to verify.
However, Mr. Johnson has a word for those who doubt the transparency and impact of the scheme.
There was a time I was going for an interview, and they said to me, oh, please come with some of your beneficiaries. I said, no. I'm going to ask my PDO to give you numbers of people that we have paid. Contact them. Like the representative of the minister said, easily. I'm working here with 100 people. They'll come and tell you they've been paid. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we have paid people. You don't understand. I'm standing here telling that we have paid people because I've heard people say so many things about government schemes in the past and government scheme now. we've paid people to the point, one person was telling my minister that they've gotten a lot, but they still don't believe. You don't understand. They said, yes, we have received a lot. They gathered themselves. They called her, we have received a lot, but we don't believe. We'll go to the bank. Once we get to the bank, we'll still not believe. But once we collect the money, we will not believe. They say until they use the money. Ladies and gentlemen, we have paid people. I know what I'm talking about. We have paid people, and we'll still be paying people. You see, the truth is that whether people like it or not, the federal government has started getting it right with this kind of schemes. Now, what we need is more schemes like this.
The beneficiaries also bear their minds on the initiative.
Since the government have approved it, there's nothing we can do. We'll manage it. It's okay than not giving at all. So we can manage it. We appreciate it. As they said here, they said that not all of us will benefit from it. I'm advising people that will not benefit from it to have hope. Maybe in the next batch, they will benefit from it like other people.
So we have a lot of members. I said if they are going to capture all of our members, we are going to almost cover all the programs. Except we want to, request for the number of the members. They are going to give us a slot. Then we minimize. Then we select some drivers that they are working with us. Then we give their name and that they should be part of these programs.
It's very okay. It's very okay for our members because some of them during the pandemic, their tires or one thing or the other, their engine gets more issues. And I think this 30,000 can be able to make them to fix one thing or the other in their tricycle or motorcycle. It's okay. We appreciate government actually.
The money that will be given to us is a good thing, and it will help us go a long way. I really appreciate what the Mr. President has done for for us to at least have something to put in our business so that at least we can be able to elevate a little bit. So we really appreciate their effort. We say a very big thank you on behalf of me and my company, GIGM. We say thank you and we appreciate it all.
The MSME Survival Fund is not the first intervention that the federal government will target at small businesses in the last 5 years. And neither will this be the last, especially for initiatives that have the capacity to touch millions and millions of Nigerians in different categories at the bottom of the pyramid. Aside from the post-COVID interventions, the federal government, through the Bank of Industry, has a wide variety of funds that small businesses can benefit from. You can only know them if you reach out to the Bank of Industry by visiting their website at boi.ng or call at any of their branches closest to you. That will be our package on the program today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kaide Alayande. Bye now.